to us. So today, I would like to take you through all the stages of life, and how fear comes, in the way, and how we can maybe cope with it. So let us find out how fear plays a major role at different stages of our lives. So how does fear impact us? Fear, we all know that when we are scared, it could lead to, when fear goes beyond a point, it leads to anxiety, it leads to stress, it weakens us physically. There are lots of physical symptoms. We feel nervous, then our heart rate goes up, and it go to any level, then goes to a panic attack sometimes. So fear affects us in many ways. So how we react, fear generally also impacts how we react to situations. Then sometimes, when it is continuing for some time, it affects our emotions, our emotional well-being. So I want you all to just think about your fears while I'm doing this session, and let's see if we can find some solutions. So it impairs our cognitive abilities, because it when we are scared, we cannot think. We may not be able to think straight, right? So it impairs our cognitive abilities, it lowers our self-esteem, we lose confidence, it makes us think negative. Yes, fear makes in worry, it leads to worry, and then we start thinking negative. What if this will happen, what if that happens? Most of the times we tend to think, in terms of a negative consequence, rather than positive. Thinking positive seems to be very difficult most times, and we think thinking negative comes easy, because of the fear, which makes us think negative. So it fear lowers our self-confidence, it leads to disorders like panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, and there are many disorders which are because of fear. So how, and it leads to avoidance. So because we're scared, we avoid. And why do the main common example is, why do people tell lies? Children tell lies, or even sometimes even adults, because of the fear that somebody might say something, they will be judged, they will not be accepted. There's so many things why we, fear makes us do all the wrong things also sometimes. So what is the difference between fear and phobia? Fear is a normal and a common response to situations and events, and it is a human emotion which could be temporary. Fear is mostly temporary, but when fear becomes chronic, it becomes a phobia. So a phobia is an anxiety disorder defined by an irrational. It could be irrational. It's unrealistic, and and if it is persistent, then it is a phobia, and we will need some kind of intervention or treatment if we have a phobia. And because it is not always rational, it is irrational, so we can go for for a treatment. Excessive fear of an object or situation. So pardon, somebody said something. Okay, so there are types of phobias. Specific phobia, like phobia about open spaces, areas, or it could be about particular things like lizards, spiders, the water. There's so many things people could have phobias about. So can anyone heights? Yes, yes. So, do you know the names of any phobias? Could you name them? If anybody knows, could you type in the chat box any phobia you know of?
Nomophobia.
That is of blood, right?
Agoraphobia, acrophobia,
Agoraphobia. Yes, yes,
hydrophobia,
yes.
hydrophobia,
Yeah, yeah.
bibliophobia, xenophobia.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. So I have a list. Yeah, same some phobias. Then yeah, so this is a small list of common phobias: agoraphobia, fear of open spaces, which are claustrophobia is fear of confined spaces. Aerophobia is fear of flying. Uh, then acrophobia is fear of heights. Aqua is water, of course, because aqua means water. Aquaphobia is fear of water. Astrophobia is fear of thunder and lightning, which maybe maybe some adults also have, children also have. Phobia has nothing to do with age. Anybody, any age, people can have phobias. Anthrophobia is fear of flowers. Algophobia is fear of pain. Anthropophobia is fear of people and society. So you don't have to actually name the phobia, but if you have any, this like, you know, uh, you can try to identify. Like I have a fear of heights. I, if I look down, I cannot look down heights. So I have that. Anybody would like to share something over here? Okay,
My
now.
fear of thunders,
Thunder.
astrophobia.
Yes, yes, yes. Astrophobia. Yeah, yeah. Because it happens suddenly, you tend to suddenly this thing get scared. So fear and anxiety are also very, very interconnected, and we tend to use them interchanging. Fear is generally, though not always, based on a negative experience. So like, if fear of dogs, like once you are scared, then next time a dog comes to close to you, you don't want, because you've already experienced something. Maybe a dog came very close and bit you or something like that. So once we have a negative experience, then you're scared of doing the same thing, going through the same thing again. Like I used to get scared of driving on a slope. So that fear was always there. Like every time I have to drive on a slope, I get scared. So because something happened, like once I drove and I like kind of hit something and all that. So once you have a negative experience, that fear tends to be there. So fear is an emotional response to known or definite threat, whereas anxiety is usually a response to a vague sense of apprehension. Means we sometimes don't know why we are getting anxious, but we tend to get anxious. So, but fear does lead to anxiety. It is often a response to an imprecise or unknown threat, such as the uneasiness or discomfort you might feel while walking down a dark street alone. So, that's just an example of an anxiety. So, fear and anxiety are very interrelated. Fear can cause anxiety, and anxiety can cause fear. The physiological impact is mostly the same. The symptoms are mostly the same, like accelerated heart rate, excessive sweating, shortness of breath, sometimes dizziness, sometimes restlessness. You feel very restless when you actually have a panic attack, and there's a lot of anxiety. Then you might have headaches, heightened body temperature, cold chills or hot flushes, muscle pain or muscle tension, etc. So anybody who would like to agree, disagree? Okay. So here's a small activity. Actually, I have not numbered them, but I would like you to identify whether these are will come under fear, anxiety, or phobia. So learning to drive on a slope is a. Can you type in the chat box? I'm able. I'm checking the chat box on my phone. Learning to. I mean, when you're driving on a slope or something, or you're driving, is it a fear? This is an activity for everyone. So you can even use numbers. Feeling uncomfortable in a crowded place. You can unmute and also answer. Feeling uncomfortable in a crowded place.
It is a phobia.
Yes, claustrophobia. Yes, yes. Suppose you're going for an MRI,
Anxiety.
anxiety. Very good, very good. First day of school for a child.
It is a fear.
Yeah, fear. It could be an anxiety also. Yeah, but fear. First day of school is fear. Before an interview,
Anxiety.
anxiety. Yes, yes. Sight of a dangerous reptile.
It is. It can be phobia or fear.
Yes, yes. Sometimes, yeah. Lizards also. We people are have major phobia with, and there is a name for that also.
Yeah.
Fear of snakes, lizards, spiders. There are
Now,
major.
yeah, one difference is there. Lizards and snakes.
Uh,
One is very dangerous. Therefore, fear only. Snakes, fear only. It's not
yes,
phobia.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
lizards because they usually go along with us in the house.
yes.
It's a
Correct,
phobia.
correct. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Sight of snake will be fear only. Yeah, and then before a public speech,
It's anxiety.
anxiety. Yes, and startle at sight of a lizard. It could be fear or it could be phobia also, right? So what I have done is I have connected fears to Eric Erickson's stages of psychosocial development, because there are so many fears, from childhood to death, that I needed some categorization, some base to categorize. So I have done this on the basis of Erickson's stages. So there are 8 stages, Erickson stages, which we will go through one after the other with their fears and how to cope. How we could apply. I mean, I think we can apply wherever, whichever age group we fall under. So stage one is infant to 18 months, which is called infancy stage. So I could have missed a few fears, but I've tried my best to,
మరి ఆ బ్యాగ్ ఏది
whatever
అసలు
was relevant.
సూట్ కేసులో
ఖాళీ బ్యాగ్ అని ఉండాలి కదా.
Uh, could you please unmute yourself? Anyway, so the fears when they are between the age of 0 to 18, fear of strangers, fear of being left alone, fear of the dark. There could be a few more also, but I thought these were the main fears. So, what do we do for a baby who is, around in a month in infancy stage? What happens is when these fears continue, I mean, if they are not addressed at that age, then the child goes through difficulties as they grow. So it affects their self-esteem, it affects their self-confidence. That is the whole theory about the Erickson's theory was that at every stage, trust, like in this stage it is trust versus mistrust. Like they need to develop a trust with the caregiver, and if that is doesn't happen, then the child will go through certain problems later on. So if they're not feeling secure, like suppose the fear of being left alone, so if that fear is not addressed at that age, then that insecurity carries on. So that is what Erickson said, that at every stage, the situation, the problem has to be addressed. So if, like, how do we address the problem at stage one? You need to make them feel safe and secure by holding them, because for them touch makes a lot of difference close to the body. Especially, that is why they like to be carried all the time. Babies like to be carried because that physical touch is very important. And give as much attention as possible. So build trust and security, that you tell them that there is somebody with you, you're not alone. And you have to maintain the consistency also. Like, you do it in a consistent way, so that they also understand a kind of, say that okay, I'm safe. People are there around me. I'm not going to be left alone. So that kind of a trust, because they cannot speak at that age, it can only be done with touch. So stage two is like 18 months, 1.5 years to 3 years. Again, it's a similar thing, like fear of strangers, because they're still comfortable with the parents and the close family members. So, and here at this stage, the emphasis is emphasis a lot on potty training, because that is a very important thing at that age. Just the way Freud has said, that there's a lot of fear attached to pot, you know doing going for potty and all that at this age. So it has to be done. If that is not done comfortably, then that also leads to a, kind of a fear for a long time. And so when they have accidents, uh, and if it is not handled softly and gently, then that also becomes a fear, and that becomes a sense of insecurity for a long period. It continues for a longer period. So these are important aspects at this age. So there's fear of abandonment, that I will be not attended to, I will be left alone, or I will get lost somewhere. Or there's fear of strangers. If somebody new people come, they don't want to maybe interact with the people. So that is one fear. Then fear of potty. So this is very, very crucial at this stage. So what we can do is, for that, is talk to them a lot, because they do understand much more at this age. So you need to narrate stories which are very pleasant, and which they can relate to. And you need to be kind and gentle with them, not yell at them when they do something wrong or something, they have accidents. And let them try. A little bit of autonomy is very, very important. Let them try when they're trying to do something. They usually try at this age. They try to talk, they try to walk, lots of things happen at this age. So we need to let them let them do. Like, autonomy means give them the freedom to this thing, and not correct them too much, because that leads to uh, like, they don't feel good about themselves. So when they you should let them do make the mistakes and learn. Stage 3, again similar, but this is when they start going to school also. So there is fear of okay, fear of school is also next slide, because some in India, we start sending them at the age of 3.5, but in the US it's above 5 years only. So here again, fear of strangers, fear of new events, like going meeting people, because this we start they start going out. So it could be school, it could be any other place where they're meeting other people, new people. So this then there could be fear of loud noises, fear of shadows, fear of water and pools. Then there could be fear of getting lost, because sometimes we take them, and sometimes they're very curious at this age. They're very curious. So they try to explore, and that's when they might get a little lost here and there. So but we should let them explore, because if they start taking initiative here, and which should be normal. So we should let them take initiative, let them go around, explore, let them meet new people, see new places. And in case they are very scared of something like loud noises or water or something, we can use systematic desensitization, which is a very good technique to address phobias and fears. Systematic desensitization is nothing but you you try to it's like you start showing, like, little by little, you start exposing the person to the situation slowly, bit by bit. Like, suppose somebody's scared of water and pools. So what you do is show them pictures of water, show them people swimming in the water, and not directly take them to a swimming pool. Then you take them just take them to the pool, just let them play with water. Then slowly, you go step by step. It's gradually you take them closer to the situation, expose them slowly to the situation. So, and let them make mistakes. So initiative versus guilt means, in if we do not allow them, like, scold them for making mistakes, then it leads to guilt. And these are emotions which tend to last for a longer time, and they sometimes stay for a long, till adulthood also. And that brings down their confidence, it will affect their self-esteem. It affects a lot of their personality as a whole. So school age, 5 to 13 years, very, very crucial, very, very crucial, because they start going to school. There's yeah, sometimes because they watch and they talk about supernatural things like aliens and ghosts, and because the friends keep talking about this, that, and so that could lead to some fear of supernatural beings. Then fear, they also watch different movies, different kinds of movies. Then fear, then they have this fear of being yelled at, because this is when the academic pressure slowly starts. So for not doing certain things, so they get yelled at, which uh, becomes a fear. Like I know a student of mine who's constantly, she doesn't want to go to school because she says teachers always tell me, yell at me and say you've not done this, you've not done that. So that fear of, the apprehension itself is stopping her from wanting to go to school, so she's not enjoying her school at all. So anyway, slowly we're working with that. So fear of failure, because there is a lot of expectations from teachers and parents. So there's fear of failure, fear of being left alone sometimes. They still want, the parents around, some adult around. Fear of heights sometimes at this age. But of course heights can be at any age, but I've just categorized it like this. So now, what do we do when they have fear of, going to school, or a new place? What we need to do is prepare them beforehand. Like, prepare them and tell them what to expect, and tell them positive things about these events. Then they are little better. And we should avoid yelling at them for making mistakes. Tell them nicely, explain to them, talk of consequences, encourage them to explore, and build on their skills, because this is the age where they are they want to do different things. So you should encourage them to build on their skills and let them try, appreciate efforts. And yeah, in case they are scared of, like, fear of heights, there's this exposure therapy which can be used, or water, fear of natural beings. And we tell them that, like, expose them slowly to something they're scared of. Like, suppose, even if there is social anxiety, if there is anxiety to go to school, so, like, we can take them for some time and bring them back, and then slowly increase the time period. So slowly expose them to the new situation, or a place. Stage 5 is age between 13 to 21 years. Again, a very crucial age. Adolescence, like Sarika mentioned yesterday, identity is what happens, at this stage, according to Erickson, versus confusion. So this is where they're figuring out, who am I? So very, very important for them. And if they are not able to figure out their identity, it leads to a lot of confusion, so they need a lot of help at this age. So there's a lot of, like, peer rejection by peers, because this is when the friends become more important. And so they want to be included, they want to be, so the main problem they face at this age is, they feel, if the peers are not accepting them, and they are sometimes excluded, they feel very bad, and that impacts their emotional well-being. And it and also their personality. So at this age, there's, fear of losing friends. They have lots of issues with friendships at this age. There's fear of failure, because there's also academic pressure. 13 to 21 is the most crucial age uh, group, where the academics plays a major role. So there is exam fear, there's fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of losing friends, of course. So friendships and peers and academics, all these play a major role at this stage. Um, Adolescence also, there are hormonal changes, so there are many challenges actually. So this is one of the most important phase, I must say. So what do they do? So here, I mean, what can we do to help them cope with these fears? Is one is, uh, they they need to not ignore criticism. Like, uh, tell them that it's okay when people judge you. You try to believe in yourself. You focus on your thing. You don't worry about what people are saying. So empower yourself. So self awareness is very important. They need to figure out what they want to do and practice the skills which they need, and do constructive activities which help them be a better person. We can suggest activities which will help them, like maybe physical sports and physical activities, and all these things will help them gain more confidence, and which will also impact their self confidence and self esteem. So they should ignore criticism, build healthy relationships and friendships. Like, don't have to, worry about if somebody doesn't like you. You can always go to another person. Like, it doesn't have to be the same person. They can encourage them to make more other friends. So this is, I feel, the kind of help we can give, empower them by suggesting how they can build other healthy relationships. So the next stage is 621 to 39. This is again very crucial in terms of relationships, intimacy versus isolation. Here, the emphasis is more on relationship with opposite sex. So there's a lot of expectations also from them at this age. So there's fear of failure, fear of losing relationships, disappointing parents. There's a fear of disappointing parents because this is the age where a lot of expectations are there. So there's fear of judgment and comparison. Maybe you're compared with other people of your age. So there's a lot of issues with relationships in this stage, and fear of missing out. You want to be a part of the social this thing groups. You want to be a part of social groups. You want to be a part of all the communities, and because otherwise you feel you're missing out on something. So that's why social media and all plays a lot of role here. So there's fear of judgment. Then that's why you want to show your best, put your best front in front of people. You want to kind of hide your weaknesses and all these things we go through at this age. So there's a lot of fears attached to a young adulthood. So the strategies here would be, first one I would say is believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, I think then all this judgment and all doesn't matter. So, and you can have positive thoughts. First of all, have feel gratitude for what you have achieved, and take small steps. Have goals. Set some good goals for yourself. Take help if you need. Self care. So there's a lot of focus on self is required at this age. And if you're clear about your beliefs and your values, then the relationships will automatically happen. I feel like that. So you can build strong relationships, healthy relationships, if there is clarity about yourself. What is that you want? It has to be very clear at this age. So you can do positive visualization. You can practice gratitude, mindfulness, self-care, because that builds your confidence, keeps you positive all the time. And perseverance, don't give up. And I feel perseverance is very consistency, and perseverance is very, very important to achieve goals. So we should not give up easily. And of course, if you need help, you can go for therapies like CBT from a professional. So the next stage is number 7, 40 years to 65 years. It is middle adulthood, where, according to Erickson, is generosity versus stagnation. Means, how much are we giving others? How much are we giving back to society? How are we helping others? Because by this age, you would have achieved quite a bit. and there would be, but there could be little concern about financial stability, and how the children's future. You could be worrying about how my children are going to, settle. What are they going to do? So there could be, worry and fear about these issues. And yeah, after 40, slowly, I think the fear of, sickness and all starts. Fear of being compared. Sometimes, you're at this age, especially between 40 and 50, we ourselves tend to compare, or sometimes it's comparison by society also. So that there's fear of being compared, fear of losing loved ones. Yeah, sometimes that also happens, because you might have, your parents will be much older, so you have a fear of losing loved ones. Then sickness and stability, financial stability. So for this, again, we need to stay positive, believe in ourselves. Then muscle relaxation technique, progressive muscle, PMRT is progressive muscle relaxation techniques. We can use all this. We all know about this. A lot has been spoken about it. So I don't want to get into the details of these things. Mindfulness, we all know. Trust the universe. I believe in that, because I have been practicing positive affirmations, and I feel, when you trust, that things will fall in, everything will be okay. This is just a phase, and the universe is, will do the best for me, and I attract all the positive things. Or these are certain affirmations which we can do to feel comfortable and positive. So, and practice self-care. Take care of yourself in the sense, in terms of exercise, health, diet. These are the things which we need to, start focusing more on after 40 plus, especially after, 40 plus. And seek help in case we feel we are not able to, figure out our problems, I mean, coping with our issues, because there is help available. And social support, like we should start joining some social groups, because then we feel okay, we are not the only ones who are facing problems or issues. Everybody goes through this, that is life. There will be ups and downs, and so we don't have to, worry so much and get so scared of everything. Stage 8. This is 65 years and above, which is actually old age. So here there is surely fear of death. We see that in, aged people. Fear of being left alone, because sometimes the children may not be able to stay with the parents. Most times it's like that now, so it's just the parents living by themselves. So just being, sometimes they could be a single person, and so being left alone, that's one fear. Fear of sickness, because due to the age there could be health issues. Then the fear of future, what is going to happen, like, when, how will I survive, how will I manage, how will I, will I fall more sick, and whether my health issues will increase or decrease, and all these fears will be there. Okay. Then, so for this, what are the strategies which can be applied are, we can suggest, I mean, I think deep breathing is one thing which I feel works. Deep breathing works. Then positive affirmations. Then also, because after an age they don't uh, have much to do after your retirement, especially after 60 plus. So they should have some, we should have some hobbies, which, like, whether it is art or music, and it could be some activity, like Sudha was suggesting yesterday. Lot of things you can do with nature. Lots of things which, we can suggest. Or some people like to read books. Like my mother-in-law used to do a lot of crosswords and word search, also at the age of 85, 90. So there are lots of things which, they can also do. They can play board games. So they need to be, some kind of recreation, should be there, so that the mind is occupied. It should, they say, no, empty mind is a devil's workshop. So if the mind is occupied, then they will not worry, and the fear factor comes down. So we can also suggest positive affirmations. Social support is very, very important. If it is possible, they should meet other people of their age, so that they exchange, they talk. Talking also helps. When you talk to other people, it helps you feel better. So self care is also crucial. Self care, I think, plays a very important role. So when you focus on yourself, you feel better, take care of your health and all that. It makes you feel okay. You're worth a lot of things, and all your achievements, what you have achieved all your life, you can introspect, talk about it, and feel good about it. So I think these are the things which people can do after 60, 65. Okay, I'm done. Okay, now there's a small activities which uh, you can, I
One,
mean, from,
one question, madam. Where
yes,
you put this adulthood, young adulthood, you said, middle adulthood, you said.
middle adulthood is 1 minute, huh, sir. It is 40.
40 to 65, you said middle adulthood.
Yes.
Then where adulthood is concept is not
Young,
there?
no, there is no, this is young adulthood. This is according to Erickson, is given like this.
Ah,
So because the ages is like that. So
ah,
after adolescence, he's directly gone to adulthood, and you can say adulthood and young adult, the same thing.
okay,
After 21, it's, you can say adulthood only. I mean, instead of, it's the same thing.
okay.
So, and middle years, 40 to 65. So there's an act, like, if you want to figure out if there's any fear. I'm not talking about phobias here, it's just normal common fears. If you have any, you can make a note of it. And have you found any strategies from the list I have given? You can write it down. If you want, I can share the slides again. Are you getting me? Right now, in your life, are there any things which are worrying you, or are there any fears, like apprehensions? Also, you can make a note of it. And what are the strategies which you think can be applied? I will share the strategies again of different age groups. I think I'll start from adulthood. So I want you to figure out, identify your own fears, and are there any strategies out of these which you think you can apply? You can also type in the chat box. Yes, I will conclude. What's the time? Yeah, 2 3 minutes more. Virasa, this is the last thing I'm doing. Okay, I'll wind up in few minutes.
Okay, okay.
So you can type in the chat box, or okay, what are the strategies which are appealing to you? I mean, what do you think you can use out of these which you can apply?
Good evening, ma'am. Sarika here.
Ha, Sarika, tell me.
Ma'am,
Hi.
I think all of them are very, very practical tools that you have provided,
Okay.
starting from positive visualization and gratitude as a daily task, as a routine
Yes.
activity is very, very helpful in making you humble and um, letting you count your blessings. So
Yes.
this
Yes.
gives you belief in yourself, and then uh, have more sense of contentment that
Yes.
satisfaction
Yes.
is there.
Yes. Yes, gratitude has helped me. Actually, I've been practicing seriously, I think, for the past 8 to 9 months, not so much before, but it is really helping.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
yoga. Yes, somebody suggested.
even mindfulness is a very, it's
Yes,
like a one-stop solution to too many problems.
correct, correct, correct. But I think mindfulness is a little difficult to apply all the time. Being mindful is a little difficult, I feel. But yes, it works.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Lakshmi ma'am says breathing exercise. Yes. In fact, when there's a panic attack, because I have tried it myself, all like breathing exercises really help. When there is panic and anxiety, immediately. And if you do it on a regular basis, pranayam also helps. I have not mentioned a lot of things over here, but yes, yoga, pranayam, consistently, if you do, I think it does help. So, what I feel is we can, address all our fears and cope with them. It's not so difficult, is what I feel. Any questions, or I'll
Can you
close.
share the Kalyani? Hi, this is Sudha. Can you
Sudha.
share the strategies once from for
Ah,
middle adulthood and
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
old
One,
age?
I hear you. 1 second. Slideshow, I'll do again. And go back. This one, 40 years to 65. This is middle adulthood.
Okay. Next one. Next.
Next one, yeah. 65.
Yeah.
I've tried not to repeat, but sometimes, it works for other ages also.
Yes. 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 They are. We can interchangeably use.
Gratitude, like gratitude, mindfulness, positive affirmations, breathing exercises. I think these are self care.
Yes. Yes.
All these, I think, work for all age groups. Even for adolescents, we have been using for teenagers also.
Yes.
Sarika, right? Sarika and I
Absolutely.
are actually handling the same age group mostly, right? Adolescents. So
Yes, ma'am.
we've been using these for them also, and it's helping.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Thank you, Kalyani.
So I think there are no, so I hope it's helping you figure out your, strategies. And of course, I'm sure everybody's using them also. So I think I will wind up here.
Mhm.
Any feedback is welcome. Questions are welcome.
Participants' feedback to Kalyani ma'am.
Pretty clear, Kalyani. All age groups. Thank you for sharing this. I usually. I mean, I like the stages. Eric Erickson. I followed
Erickson's.
those stages actually. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I needed some base to categorize the fears, no? So
Yes, yes.
I used Erickson's.
Very nice. Thank you.
Really, you made it simple. The fear, you made it simple.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, APA, Mohan Deshpande sir, and Veera sir, and all for giving me this opportunity. I will stop sharing.